Milt Lady joins us from White Township. He is the White Township Manager on this gorgeous Tuesday. So you just got to go ahead and cancel White Township for the day?
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's going home.
You can't do that, Milt. You've got things to do.
No, they've been out there for several hours already. Putting what little salt we have down.
Yeah, you're running out?
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're almost out. I don't know what's going on. I called Harrisburg yesterday to rattle the cages a little bit. Hopefully we'll get some action, but we're back ordered like 500 tons.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people, of course, now. And it doesn't really matter how mild the winter has been. You got to go put that stuff on with the slightest indication that there's going to be a problem. So you lose all that, and then it rains and washes it back off.
It does. We've cut back on our ratios. We're usually 1-to-1 salt versus anti-skid, but we've been cutting back. We're only using it sparingly at this point because we have so much.
So you're actually being rationed by the supplier.
That's what they're telling us, yeah. Harrisburg's not, they've heard inklings about that, but they said they would try to see what they could do.
Wow.
So we'll find out.
So be careful and hope Punxsutawney Phil was right.
Yeah. No, we're putting the anti-skid down. We're spraying it with magnesium chloride. It's a liquid that we spray on the anti-skid to help. Yeah. But it's labor intensive.
Yeah. So... All right, so mornings like this aren't going to help that equation at all.
We'll persevere.
Yeah, you'll get through it all.
That's right.
Meanwhile, the roads will continue to do what the roads do, and so will the sewers and the storm sewers and all of that. You've got some news in that respect this morning, too.
Yeah, we continue sewer side. We continue with our projects moving forward. We're still in the design engineering phase and permit applications, and that's for Fulton Run and also the 286 East Airport Road area. Yeah. But the projects are progressing. Some people have been calling, asking about it. We're still trying to acquire land for our right-of-ways to run the new lines and all that. So we'll keep plugging away.
And with storm sewers, we've got a flood watch today, and certainly people around here know all about when it rains just a little bit more than normal, it seems these days. It's a flood risk, isn't it?
It is. Now, we ask residents to watch the stormwater inlets that's in their area. Make sure the snow's cleared off of them. It's this freeze-thaw cycle right now. Those inlets get plugged with ice and piles of snow. So make sure they're kept open. If you see them at your driveway or whatever, make sure you clear them off. So that helps. Leaves, there's still leaves blowing around when it's windy like this, and make sure they're off the inlets.
And when the ground is extremely frozen, then the water isn't going to seep into it. It's going to run right off of it, and generally it finds its way out to the street, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. The streams are up. We got to be careful out there.
So you have applied for a grant from FEMA, correct?
We have, in cooperation with the borough. As a partner, we put it through to PEMA, which is the Pennsylvania Emergency Management, and they've approved it and passed it on to FEMA, which is the federal part. So we have applied. It's about a $766,000 total grant, of which the borough and the township would contribute 25% match to that amount. Hopefully it'll address some marsh run areas. There's some underground storage in some of the properties we're looking to possibly build, and also some renovations to the First Street stormwater basin. That would be part of that project. And there's a lot of other little things depending on how much money we get.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things I think that probably we don't give enough credence to, is the fact that in these months now when we're not really thinking about underground projects, storm sewer, sanitary sewer projects, digging and things of that nature. We're not thinking of them, but you are, because those things have to be planned so that when the time comes, the funds become available, or the weather gets to the point where you can start turning over dirt or doing whatever needs to be done, you're ready to go. That today is a crucial time.
Right.
In relation to what's going to be happening tomorrow.
That's correct. And there's a lot of legwork. Some of these grants and engineering, they take 2-3 years to put through. In fact, a lot of the grants now, they want it all pre-engineered. They want them shovel ready. So you have to make an investment just to even apply for grants anymore. It didn't used to be that way. You used to just fill out the application and you get money to do the engineering.
Yeah, that's
now
interesting.
A lot of it you have to have engineered ahead of time.
Yeah, because so you have to actually engineer a project, spend the money to engineer it, not even knowing if the money's going to be approved for you to build it.
That's right. At least preliminary engineer. You may not have to get into the final full detailed design, but there is preliminary engineering required with drawings and stuff like that. Yep.
All righty. So those are things happening above and underground our streets. There's recreation news, of course. The S&T Bank Arena is a focal point right now for White Township. There's a lot going on there, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. Hats off. You've been bringing some hockey team and kids in and promoting the Charlie Hogan tournament. It's a big event here for the community. A lot of people come in from out of town, Ohio, New York. They've had them come up from Virginia in the past. But they bring money into the community. They stay in the motels. They're so full they have to even go to Johnstown or outlying areas. But there's other Pittsburgh teams that come in too, but they eat here. They'll play a game in the morning. They've got to eat lunch or dinner, and they play another game in the evening. So, they spend their money here. They buy gas. Some go shopping. So it's a big benefit to the community. It's fun. The kids have a blast. It's a well-run tournament. Well known in Western Pennsylvania. It's one of the best.
We have talked in the past with Denise Liggett from the Tourist Bureau about the fact that, gas taxes, some of that money stays right here. You buy it in Indiana County, the money from gas taxes, some of it stays right here in Indiana County.
That's right.
So if we get them to come up here with an empty tank and gas up while they're here, we charge them more for it here.
That's
for that privilege, too.
That'd be nice. Huh?
Well, the effect is that they do pay more for it here than they do in other places.
It seems that way, doesn't it?
We've been talking about that. So the Charlie Hogan tournament is going on at S&T Bank Arena. Meanwhile, you're thinking about renovations there and doing that.
That's more of the legwork. Like you mentioned, we have to we did a preliminary assessment. We hired an engineer to do that as part of the application. Now we have to go back and hire a consultant that'll do the full engineering. They'll spec out all the mechanical equipment and all that. So right now we're in the process of asking for proposals for that engineer to come on board, and they'll do a full design. Hopefully we could start doing some work this summer, depending on how quickly they get on board. Yeah. We're excited about that. We see a lot of improvements at the arena, mostly from an efficiency standpoint, repairing the equipment that's been there since the mid-'90s when the place was built.
Yeah. That's a long time. It's done good service to you.
It has.
Many years.
It's been. We try to do a little bit every year, but finally it catches up.
He's Milt Lady with us, White Township Manager, talking about issues within the township. The Planning Commission has a meeting scheduled tonight. Yes,
they do. We got a final site plan that'll hopefully be approved. It's for a new Burger King at the same location.
Oh, okay.
They'll be putting up a new building with a dual drive-through lane. So most of their business is drive-through anymore. So we're looking forward to that, and also two preliminary sketch plan reviews for some sites.
Oh, okay. So a little bit more action for the Planning Commission.
Yeah, it's picking up a little bit. We're seeing some people, like you say, getting ready for the construction season.
Yeah, and then the supervisors will meet tomorrow night.
That's correct. No real big thing. The stormwater management ordinance, that's still in the books. We've been tweaking that for a couple months, getting some resident input that's made us make some changes on that. So hopefully it'll be ready for advertisement. That's more commercial. We took the residential part out of it, and we'll probably tweak that some more and either roll that back into it or adopt a separate ordinance.
Supervisors talked recently about the Risinger Road issue as well, didn't they?
Yes. We had requested PennDOT to look at constructing the turnaround since they turned that road back over to us back when they built the bypass. But we get liquid fuels money for it, so they claim that their responsibilities on that road are not there anymore. So they turned it down. But
it'd be really nice if they just, drop the expressway right down onto there. That would be really nice.
More traffic on it. No, I don't
No,
think that's
not
what
on
they're
that.
looking for.
Maybe not on that road, but certainly there's an opportunity in that area where we could do something like that, close to the Indian Springs Road
Sure.
area.
Yeah,
That'd be good. Put that on the preliminary engineering there, will you, Milt?
We'll look at it.
No, you won't.
Probably not.
Well, Milt, thanks for coming in this morning. The rest of White Township has the day off, but not you. You have to keep working.
No, I think the guys will stick around.
You think they'll still be at work today?
They're committed. They're a committed group of guys.
That's good. That's terrific news. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Todd.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, AM 1160, 101.1 FM.